Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Akeem Lawanta, and in today's Fix of Entertainment news, we've got an important Rick and Morty update you might be interested in. All the details coming up. Now, we also fill you in on what to expect from Netflix's Scott Pilgrim anime series. All this and more in today's Fix. Let's drop it. We've got our first teaser trailer for the upcoming Rick and Morty Season 7. Now, there's no release date just yet, but expect to see the multiverse traveling duo return sometime in the fall. Now, it's great to see them back in action, but I think most fans are more interested in hearing what Rick and Morty will sound like without co-creator Justin Roiland in the voiceover booth. Now, Roiland voiced many characters from the animated series, including the titular heroes. Now, Roiland was let go by Adult Swim earlier this year after domestic abuse charges were levied against him. Now, he's since been cleared of all charges and released this statement on Twitter following the dismissal of the domestic abuse charges. Now, in it, he mentions how he's determined to move forward and focus on restoring his good name and working on his creative projects. Unfortunately for him and for some fans, none of those projects will be Rick and Morty or Solar Opposites related, as both Adult Swim and Hulu have severed ties with the creator and likely have absolutely no plans of bringing him back on board either projects despite recent developments. As you might know, actor Dan Stevens has replaced Roiland as the voice of Corvo in Season 4 of Solar Opposites. And no, he sounds absolutely nothing like Roiland's original take on the character.
Who picked the voice-fixing Ray?
I'm sorry, big guy, my bad. We'll get this fixed in a jiffy.
I told you not to throw metal around here. We're going to be late to work. Stop buggering about.
Hey, does Corvo sound a little off?
This thing must not be calibrated. Let me try again.
No, this is working for me.
All right, chop chop, let's get a move on. I hate being late. It makes me feel hot and weird.
You make me feel hot and weird.
What was that?
Nothing. Coming, sweetie.
Wait, is his voice just gonna be like that from now on?
Yeah, but it sounds pretty much the same to me. Nobody's gonna notice.
Honestly, that's a really clever way to explain away the recasting of the character. Now, obviously, there's absolutely no way the producers behind Rick and Morty would do the very same thing, even though it makes sense for Rick to have created a voice-fixing ray gun as well. But instead of ripping off that idea, it seems the producers behind Rick and Morty might be going with sound-alikes for the titular characters. At this year's Comic-Con, producer Steve Levy gave fans an update on where the team's at with the recasting of the characters voiced by Justin Roiland. Quote, "We are closing in on the end of our process of the recast. It's going to be great. I'm thoroughly impressed. That's the thing I don't want to be overshadowed." And he also confirmed that they'll be using sound-alikes, but the characters will remain the same characters. Now, fortunately for the producers of the series, there's a ton of folks online who can pull off very convincing Rick and Morty impressions, so there's probably a large pool of online influencers for them to choose from. Now, my money's on them using my friend and OG YouTuber Brock Baker.
Hey, you're the casting director for Rick and Morty, right? Did you get a chance to listen to those thousands of auditions yet? You know, to replace Justin Roiland?
Oh, Morty, we gotta go back to the future, Morty. We gotta go back to the future 2, Morty. We gotta go back to the future 3, Morty. Oh, jeez, Rick! Oh, jeez!
Morty! Oh, jeez!
And I'm Rick. I'm Rick. I'll drink alcohol.
Hey, I can do a really good Rick and Morty.
Now, that was low-key his way of auditioning for the role, and honestly, I bet you it actually worked. I mean, that's exactly what happened to my man Arif Zahir, aka Azariz, who secured the role of Cleveland Brown. Anyways, really hope we'll find out soon who will be stepping into the roles of the two characters. Whomever it is will definitely have big shoes to fill and a lot to prove to Rick and Morty fans. And even if they nail the voices, it'll be interesting to see if they have Roiland's talent for improvisation. I'm curious to know your thoughts on all of this. Comment down below and let's discuss. Now, in other animation news, we got our first look at Netflix's upcoming Scott Pilgrim anime series. Now, while we didn't hear much from the characters, we were treated to a whole lot of eye candy with the visuals, very reminiscent of the manga series. And what's so cool about it is that the entire creative crew seems to be returning for the project. We got creator of Scott Pilgrim Brian Lee O'Malley, director Edgar Wright, and several cast members from the live action adaptation will be returning to bring this 2D animation to life. Now, some of the returning cast include Aubrey Plaza, Brie Larson, Anna Kendrick, and of course, Michael Cera as the titular hero. Now, Cyan Saru will be working on the animation, which you may know from their work animating Devilman Crybaby or those cool promotional episodes for OKKO Let's Be Heroes. Now, the anime series kicks off November 17th. And finally, Barbie just overthrew The Dark Knight, becoming WB's highest grossing domestic release in recent history. Now, sitting on a firm $537.5 million, the 2023 movie about a plastic doll edged out Christopher Nolan's superhero film, which previously held the record with a domestic intake of $536 million. And going into its fourth week in theaters, the Greta Gerwig film is showing absolutely no signs of slowing down both domestically and internationally. And for those of you who haven't seen the movie yet because, I don't know, you don't own any pink things to wear on your body, don't worry, it'll hit the Max streaming service sometime in the fall. No specified release date just yet. All right, and that does it for today's Entertainment Fix. I'm Akeem Lawanson, and thank you all so much for watching. Now that you're caught up on today's news, please check out our previous episode. Download the IGN app on all your devices, and for everything else, stick with IGN.